Yo, what is good, world? It's your boy, Calvin Leroy King III, and as always, I have my lovely co-hostess with the most by my side, Miss Reese PC, the one and only.
Hey, y'all.
And we thank y'all for tuning in and turning up for another exclusive segment of This, That, and the Third, the lifestyle show that gives you life.
Literally.
And joining us today on this exclusive segment is none other than the superhero herself, Miss Lynn Solar. Can we begin by welcoming this queen in with a slow clap?
Yes. Oh, this is so cute.
Now, she is a friend of the show. She's family, actually, to the show. She's been with us since season one. And as we grow into season 3, we love to see you back. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's like tradition now that I have to be
Indeed.
with you all, right?
It's almost like an annual thing.
I have to go see them.
She's a Sag.
Yes.
So she just had
Sad
her birthday.
season is upon us.
Cheers to that, right?
Cheers to the
Clink,
Sages.
clink, 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 clink.
Now, for those that may not have seen you or be familiar with the amazing work that you put out into the universe, can you tell them a little bit about who Lynn Solar is?
Yeah, and I never know how to answer that question.
Be led. Be led.
But I'm a singer, songwriter, artist, actress, event production professional as well. Native of Chicago all day long, and Southside, Chatham, and I now live in Hyde Park. So I mean, I'm just trying to make the dream work, basically.
Hey, and teamwork makes the dream
work.
And I forget that the first time you came on the show, you were actually talking about your event that you were doing. I forgot that you did event production. Yeah, it was like a wedding.
Yeah, that was actually the second time I came. Yep.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So she's a vet. She's a vet. And we gonna cut straight to it, man. You have a new project that just hit the airwaves.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you dropped it on your birthday?
I did.
Dropped it on your birthday and had a virtual
birthday party.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, so I'm normally at home for my birthday, or I normally have something planned at home with my friends. But this past weekend, I celebrated it in Dominican Republic. And yes, and so at the time that I had planned the birthday party, I had originally not had a date for my release of the album. So it just so happened that by the time everything was complete, that it was like, well, 12-10 is perfect. I wanted it to be on completion numbers, so 12 and 10. And I was like, oh my God, my birthday has always been completion. So, and I thought what a wonderful way to kind of bring in my new year and release this album in a major way. And so I basically created the virtual birthday party as a way to, one, spend time with the people that in Chicago
that couldn't be
with me in the DR. And even though I had made it home by Monday, that was still like chill day. And then I also wanted to figure out a way to kind of release this new information in a big way. So.
And informative it is. I don't know if you all have given this a gander, given this a listen, but I was riding to this.
It's informative.
It's informative, man. I swear, this is my little baby sister. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to the track. I'm listening to the track like, where this nigga at, man? What do I need to do? Who do I need to pull up on, man? Because somebody has taught her some lessons in love.
Shit.
Let me name some of these tracks.
Right. Like, what's
Is it out there?
Right.
I am enough.
Honey.
Mr. Wonderful Interlude. Very, very telling. Wonderful You. I saw the signs.
That's a good one.
I won't cry. Falling Out of Love, featuring Joey Price. Big Dreams. Unstoppable. And I Am Enough Live. Now, the track list, obviously you could tell, this is about one of our favorite topics on This, That, and the Third, which is relationships. Tell us. We obviously know some of the creative forces behind this project, but like the creative process for this, like, tell us more about that.
About the process?
The process to getting this masterpiece out to us.
Listen.
Tell us without crying, because dude, the interludes on this mod.
I didn't listen to that.
Oh my stars! Like usually, people, I did 7 tracks. I'm gonna tell you about this one track. No, she gonna tell you about these tracks as she plays them.
Yeah.
And it's just so, it's naked. It's wide open, man. And that's what I think is one of the best aspects of this project. Tell us about that creative process.
Well, speaking of that, this is the most vulnerable work I've ever done in my whole entire life. And this album took 5 years. About, I don't even know when I know I started with I Am Enough. And no, I didn't start with I Am Enough, but anyway, one of the tracks I started with, it was maybe about 2012. So it's been some time and with breaks in between. But yeah, I had to, number one, give this album over to God because I'm like, this your album.
Praise the name.
So with that, I've been through a lot of shit. And I didn't have a plan on what these songs are going to be. And a lot of these songs actually, over time, it was going to be an EP. So half of these tracks weren't even going to be there. But then come this September, I was like, all of these need to be in this story because this is the journey of being transformed and how I got to be transformed over time. So yeah, I went through it. I've been on the floor several times, even through just like the release, the past 3 months, just being like totally shaken because I'm like, I'm about to tell everybody those things that people never tell.
It's
so.
intimate.
And it's interesting for Sagittarius to do because it's kind of transparent, but not 100% transparent, right?
Right.
So it's
get your ass up. Like we kind of move how we move, right?
Yeah. So
but like, we people too, though.
To really sit and like think about our feelings and to go through that and sit in those feelings.
It's hard work.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard work.
And again, not just doing that, but also sharing that experience
with everybody.
Right.
Now, I definitely feel you because, I mean, like you said, it took 5 years because it was probably still being written and still being developed and still happening. You were still going through that process.
Yeah. And a lot of songs, like, I didn't even like. Like, I'm just I'm like, I don't like this track. I don't like it. But it's like the story. And it's even cool now that I've released it and hearing people tell me that they like the tracks that I was going to cut. Yeah. And I was like, oh, see, because it was meant for somebody. It was meant for somebody.
And that's the purpose of art, though. Like, it inspires others. It lets us know that we're not alone.
Right.
And it says the things that we sometimes can't articulate. And in a beautiful, angelic way. In this particular case. Favorite track or anything like that? Or most challenging track? Like, what track kind of stands out as, nigga, if only you knew?
You know, it's crazy. I can never pinpoint which is the favorite because they all are attached to a story. They're even attached to different people. And even Falling Out of Love isn't about a person, actually.
You lucky, nigga. I was going to find you.
That's one you could take off the list.
I was going to find you and say something very stern.
But
golly.
But some of the other ones
felt like it was about a person.
Right, it does. Because when I started, it wasn't about a person. But because life happened in between I Am Enough, Wonderful You, and Falling Out of Love, it became, like, the culmination of it became about a person. So I finished it.
And a person.
Yeah.
Sound like you can relate. It really hit home.
But I do love Falling Out of Love because it's happy on top of something that we equate falling out of love with being really sad. But I mean,
have to be.
We could have fun with that jam. Like,
it feels good.
Yeah.
Straight up, G.
Yeah. So.
And then at the end of the day, to fall out of love, you kind of had to be in love. And like my man say on Houdini, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. You know what I'm saying? So I applaud anybody that.
I'm looking like you know my face.
Getting heartbroken. Out of love.
I'm like, yeah.
I'm just saying, G, like.
It sounds good in hindsight, but when you're going through it, you don't want that person to fall out of love. You know what I'm saying?
That is very true. That is very true.
Right.
I think falling out of love is cool. Somebody falling out of love with you might hurt a little bit more. Piercing. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Having been through the storm, having experienced love and the falling there out of, like, what impact might this have on you and your growth going forward, do you think?
You know, and I don't know yet.
Yeah, you still in the picture.
Yeah.
The tail end of it.
One day I had to sit and kind of meditate and think, what do I want this album to do? Because when I released my first single, I felt empty. Because I'm like, now what?
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know, it was like,
here it is.
Right, it's like you spend so much time working on this thing and then you finally release it and then it's like, oh, I didn't think about what comes after it. Right. So even with this album, I sat and I thought, well, you know, I wanted to launch my career in a different way. I mean, now I have a whole entire product to now build off of and do live things off of it and share with people and have more conversations about situations. But I don't know, and I don't even know like what types of transformation in this whole 3-month season. I mean, I know some of it, but I don't know the ending of it, and I probably won't ever know until I look back.
So something that's dope to me, and this is a personal side note. So Unstoppable came out a while ago, right?
It did. It came out in 2017.
Did I Am Enough come out before that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's I Am Enough. So I Am Enough, I got my first Fire Stick. So I put my Fire Stick, I'm shooting the breeze, we out the band, I'm getting it hooked up to the Wi-Fi, we out the band. And the first thing I did was went to SoundCloud and listened to your track. And I just thought it was so dope that I know this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on the Fire Stick. That shit is crazy to me, man. So that's just a quick aside, man. But, man, congratulations on the new project.
Thank you.
Much success. And you kind of mentioned it already, but you kind of haven't even qualified what success looks like for this project. You just kind of going with it and getting it out to the people? Or
yeah, I mean, it's a strange time for artists now with the digital transition and the album. So, I mean, for instance, one purchase is equal to 1,250 streams.
One purchase of
an album.
Like a CD?
Yes.
How do you purchase an album?
No.
Like a download?
Yeah. Like when you buy an album.
I haven't bought music since COVID.
See what I mean? That right there. So even
music free.
It basically it's free to y'all, but it costs me thousands.
Right.
And so all I know is I want to travel next year and figure out the rest of life.
You want to travel performing your music?
Yeah, I definitely want to do that, but I also need to do some soul searching on what music looks like in the creation. Like, what am I creating next? Like, I really am like, I don't know.
I think being able to have like a canvas, a blank canvas to work with is a gift in and of itself. To be creative, to be blessed with the gift of song and writing, and be able to be like, you know, whatever comes next, I'll be able to pen it and produce it. You know what I'm saying? That's some dope shit. Because a lot of people, like I said, we go through things, feel like we go through them alone, and we don't know how to express, which is a part of the healing process from the things we went through. So you're in a very privileged position, if nothing else.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Reese, I think, would you like to play a game?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as customary here on This and the Third, we are going to kick off the game, This, That, and the Third. Now, she's familiar with it, but I'll tell all you new-news who may not be as familiar with This and the Third. The rules are simple. We're going to ask 3 questions, and she just has to answer honestly and from the heart. Are you ready to play?
Yep.
All right. Well, this
I forgot about this game.
She remembers. All right. This is this. How? No. Top three. Top 3 things that have to be in your ideal mate. What are the 3 things that your ideal mate must come to the table? Only 3.
Okay.
Must come to the table with these 3 things at least.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Actively building a relationship with God.
Okay.
A believer.
3, being resourceful.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a broad one that can go.
Yes.
It's all encompassing.
Like the SAGs bill,
Enterprising. Right. I ain't gonna box myself here. Enterprising. All right. So integrity, faith, enterprising. I like it. All right. So this is that.
Okay. So the album is called Transformation.
Yes.
What have you transformed? What have you changed? And you still may be on that journey, but what's one of the things that you can, that you can point out?
Well, one, I've grown as a person. So, yes. I don't know, Calvin, if you remember, but I was very reserved when you met me. I was very quiet, very much like, I didn't know myself then. And now I'm just like, live out loud, out the box. I'm going to tell you this girl, you know.
You do have a large personality.
Go live your life, right. And so that's just been my total transformation, and also in body image as well. So the back of my cover art is me in a swimsuit. Now, even 3 years ago, I texted them to you.
I'm going to look that up.
But even in maybe like 2-3 years ago, I wasn't wearing swimsuits because I had grown up being teased about being skinny and small and frail and fragile. And people asked me like, are you sick? And how much do you weigh? And let me feed you. So even just transformation and being able to wear a swimsuit and put it on the back cover of something very public, it's a transformation for me.
Yeah.
I said this album was naked. Really nice. I said that earlier. Naked.
It certainly is naked.
Y'all out there in TV land, be your buddy. not a bully.
Right.
Beautiful queen, and y'all giving her self-esteem issues at an early impressionable age. She's a fox. Let her be a fox. Anyway,
Thank you.
this is the third. And
One more question.
You're almost done. That seat is getting hot. Your 16-year-old self, and it sounds like you went through some things, and whatever, had some experiences. Yeah. What advice would you give that young lady that's still in her shell, that still has on a long sleeve bathing suit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell that young lady?
You know what's crazy? That question even makes me want to cry because at 16, I had a best friend at the time, and those were the times where we grow into having these boyfriends, our first boyfriends and stuff, and I couldn't have boyfriends growing up, so I was always the tag-along, the third wheel with her for years. And even at 17, my 17th birthday party was kind of ruined by one of her boyfriends coming to my birthday party uninvited, and he knew he was uninvited, but it kind of just blew some shit up for me. So what I would tell my 16-year-old self.
Listen up.
I mean, I think I would just tell her not to just dwell on those negative things as much. Because, SADs are kind of like really heavy thinkers and very introspective, and we take on things that aren't ours.
Yeah.
And
get off me.
Again, I had to learn how not to do that through this music journey. And I'm still working on that in a little bit of way. So I definitely would just be like, just tell her to not hold those things that aren't yours. Yeah.
That's great advice for any 16, any 61-year-old. Let that shit go.
No, you should. Drop it.
Definitely. See, that wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
Time is a charm.
I'm shaking like,
we love you, so we keep it inbound. But what we do want to do is give her the opportunity to get the word out, how people can.
Give everybody your social media names, IG names, and where they can download and find your music.
Gotcha. So I am at Lynn Solar on Instagram, Twitter. On Facebook, I'm Lynn Solar Music. You can find me on SoundCloud and YouTube as Lynn Solar. So you can Google search me now. I'm a verified Google artist.
I'm Googleable.
And you Google me and you'll see all my things over there. And you can find my music on every digital platform. It's released internationally, so everything that you can think of. So all your favorite jams, I'm there. Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Play, you name it. I'm there. You can purchase the album for $9.99, and you can stream it. Make sure that you follow me on Spotify and Apple Music. And share.
And how do we book you?
Book, you can email Lo Mitchell at lynn@solar-solar.com.
Straight like that. So y'all heard it here. Thirst on the third time of this and the third, where we brought the beautiful queen, Miss Lynn Solar. Can we slow clap this beautiful queen out?
Of course.
And we want to thank y'all for tuning in and turning up, as always, for another exclusive segment of This, That, and the Third, the lifestyle show that gives you life. Literally. It's been a pleasure serving as your host. Once again, it's been your boy, Calvin Leroy King, the third. And as always, I have my lovely co-host with the most by my side, Miss Lisa, the one and only. And we are the undisputed king and queen of Chicago podcast.
Check us out.